Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
And thanks for joining us for the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, along with your City Manager for the City of Oshkosh, Mark Roloff. Mark, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Andy.
Okay, in the first half of today's show, we'll talk about some municipal news updates. And then in the second half, we'll talk about some agenda highlights from the upcoming Tuesday, April 13th Common Council meeting. So, Mark, we'll start off with a quick overview of some COVID items. There's a face covering ordinance that's currently in effect in Oshkosh.
Yeah, the council adopted an ordinance that said once the state order was lifted that we would maintain it through April 30th. So that's the case for anyone 5 or older in buildings and other enclosed spaces that are generally open to the public. It doesn't count your private home or private offices and things like that.
Okay, all right. And also, folks are probably very interested in vaccination information and how they might be able to learn more about where they can get a vaccine for COVID-19. The county has a great website that's sort of a hub for that.
It is. It's wcvaccine.org, so Winnebago County Vaccine. It's a great portal to not only find out where the county is offering vaccines, but where other places are as well. And really, this is where I think the most questions are coming up these days. Where can I get a vaccine? Because it's open to all individuals age 18 and over now. And, of course, the one at Sunnyview is operated by the health department. But there's other locations that they'll make you aware of as well if Sunnyview isn't the best place for you to go.
That's right. There's also a site at UW Oshkosh and some other neighboring communities as well. And so they're all listed right there on their webpage.
And we are still offering vaccinations or transportation to vaccination appointments on Go Transit. That's really for the Culver Center over at UW Oshkosh. Right. So certainly, check out our website and you'll get that information. And if you need to get a ride to get there, we'll take care of you that way.
Okay, perfect. And then also, it looks like we're going to be continuing virtual with government meetings for the city through April.
Yeah, at the organizational meeting with the council, we'll discuss where we want to go further with that. But right now through April, we're going to continue to do that. Okay,
all right. And as always, just a reminder to folks that City Hall is open, but we do encourage folks to utilize the online services that are available.
Yeah, there are some great online services we have, but if you want to come in, you absolutely can do it. Encourage. We still require masks, but we want to encourage people to use the online services. We've actually gotten them pretty well addressed, so we're real happy about how that's been going. And look at all the services that you can access online. So plenty of great alternatives as opposed to just coming up. If you're not comfortable, we want you to have a comfortable experience, and so we're making it as easy as possible.
Sure. All right, and then also just taking a look, recently we had the April 6th election, and so we have Mayor Lori Palmieri won re-election.
Yeah, there were a lot of different races, but we're just focusing on local. So Mayor Lori Palmieri was re-elected, and then we're going to have 3 new council members. Top 3 were elected, Bill Miller, Aaron Wojciechowski, and Courtney Hansen. So those will be the folks that will be sworn in on April 20th at our organizational meeting.
Okay, and that's at noon on April 20th. And Oshkosh Media will be carrying that live on GovTV and the other platforms you see on the graphic there. So please stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we had still not as good a turnout as you get at presidential elections, but the turnout was 24.7%, not quite 9,400 voters.
Right. And quite a few absentee ballots that came back too.
Yeah, what a difference, because in spring election from 2019, we had 843 absentee ballots, which was a pretty big number for a spring election back pre-COVID. But this election, we had 3,334 returns. So that's like 4 times what we got in 2019. So now less turnout overall, but obviously a lot of people felt more comfortable voting absentee, and we certainly were plugging that, and we're glad people chose that option if that was what was most comfortable to them.
Okay, very good. Well, and then also we're getting into that time of the year where construction projects are coming around, and we have some different things going on around town. I know CP Avenue is one of them.
Yeah, well, CP Avenue from Bowen to Lake Street is going to start on Monday, April 20th. So it goes to Lake Street, not all the way to the lake, but you can see it's finishing that last part of CP that everybody knows, especially live in the neighborhood. You know that is long overdue. So
it was rough.
Yeah, so we're so happy to be able to do that. But we got a couple other projects, and we've talked about these before. But 9th Avenue from Oakwood out to Paul's Place, that's currently under construction. So this is the old Oakwood, which was ditches. Part of it used to be in the town. Now it's all within the city. We're going to go 4 lanes with this, but we got a lot of dust we're kicking up out there on 9th Avenue, and we want people to be aware. There is local access. I would not encourage people to use that for through traffic. It'll be very, very difficult. You're better off shooting over to 20th or Witzel to do your east-west movements.
Okay, and so that's on the west side of town. We also have some construction activity on the south side of town.
We sure do, and we've got Fond du Lac Road and Oregon Street. Right now the focus is on Fond du Lac Avenue, and that's from Stony Beach Road down to Waukau. It's technically limited lanes, but in reality it's really close to local traffic. So if you're heading south on 45, I would suggest that you take Oregon down to Waukau and just use that as your kind of cut-through route. If you're going down to Wentz or taking the Lake Road down to Fond du Lac, that would really make more sense. So there's Mark's traffic tip of the day.
Okay, very good. I'm sure we'll navigate as we can. And then also, not necessarily roads, but we have some bridge items to talk about. There will be a full closure of the Wisconsin Street Bridge on Monday, April 12th.
Yeah, and this is during May. There's a lot of bridge closures, so we wanted people to be aware of them. The Department of Transportation does this maintenance to make sure the bridges can open and close. So Monday, April 12th from 7 a.m. to 4, that's Wisconsin Street Bridge. And then similarly, they're going to hop over to Oregon Street Bridge on Tuesday, April 13th, same hours. When they're done, they get out of there, but generally they block out 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then lastly, the other all-day closure is going to be the Congress Avenue Bridge on April 19th. So Congress or Oshkosh, depending on which side of the bridge you're looking.
Sure.
But that's and that's also from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The bridges will all have a little bit of partial closure, and you can look at our website. We've got all the notices out there, but those ones you got to steer clear of the bridge that day because you're not crossing.
That's right. Yeah. So good to stay aware of those and watch the Oshkosh Media Facebook page for some updates on that one as well. And then, Mark, we also have some new playground equipment and some updates at the West Haven Circle Park.
Right. It's not all about street projects. We're trying to get some of our park improvements done, and this year focuses on West Haven Circle Park. This is the rendering of what the new playground area is going to look like. The neighbors helped give us some input on that, which was wonderful. And then also the ball field there is being reconstructed with the assistance of some of the ball groups that pay in annually for these. And we've been collecting funds, and we're going to get the ball field there at West Haven Circle Park, so we're really excited about that. You'll see that getting installed by early June, so by the time the kids are out of school, the new playground will be up and running for everybody, which will be great.
Okay, that'll be exciting. So a lot of things to be watching over there too. Okay, and then recently I did a lot of yard work, and so I'm glad to see that the Yard Waste Drop-Off Center will be open for seasonal hours very soon.
What to do with all the yard waste?
Right.
Well, we're open for you. 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. I think we got a map that shows, there's the entrance, but just to remind everybody, it's right there on 3rd Avenue between Idaho and Ohio Street. Very easy in and out, except one little thing. Permits are required. So
that's right.
$25 for Oshkosh residents, $125 for non-residents, and you can purchase them. Again, you can do it online. You do not have to come into City Hall, but you can come to our collections counter. That's where I got mine.
Okay.
Or you can also go over to Kits and File Hardware if you forget it until the weekend, which too many years I did that over the years. I can't believe I did it when I work right here. But Kits and File has been very helpful over the years to get our weekend warriors their yard waste permit.
All right, yeah, and for all the details on what's available for services at the city drop-off center, that detail can be found on the city's website. Okay, and then another seasonal thing that's coming around that's exciting is that the Menomonee Park Zoo is opening on May 1st.
Yeah, I know the weather's been great recently, so the temptation is, when's the zoo opening? But we don't open until May 1st, but 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you want to go after work or after dinner or something like that, you can still do that.
Sure.
The zoo is, 8 acres and home to up to 50 animals each season. And we get over 100,000 visitors per year. And
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. And so 2 of the big features that you're going to want to see, there's a new wolf pack. We changed over our wolf pack, so 3 new wolves. They are not with the burros. Don't worry about that. The burros will be safe. But we've got the new wolf pack, and then there's a new bald eagle exhibit. It's just outstanding. The bird is magnificent. We got it from Cornell University. We worked very closely with them, and some great donors, Tom and Penny Herrenberg, which help keep the zoo free for our visitors, but they also did a great fundraising effort to get the eagle exhibit up. And I've had a chance to look at the exhibit. I cheated a little bit and got an early look-see at it. It is so incredible, and we get to see more eagles out in the wild these days, but to see the eagle up close is really something. Families absolutely, on Mark's high recommendation list to go see this spring.
Sure, it's a great opportunity for kids, and it's a very educational opportunity.
And the Menomonee Park Facebook page has all the information about things happening this season. Absolutely put it on your list.
Right, there's a lot going on over there too. So, okay, and then another sort of seasonal thing that we're getting into right now is awareness of tornadoes and severe weather. So the Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week is April 12th through the 16th.
Yeah, I know. We've been pretty lucky in recent years, and you do have to turn to a serious tone because we have to take these seriously. Statewide tornado drills are planned for Thursday, April 15th. But the whole idea is to, make yourself aware that you still need to take these measures. When the tornado sirens sound, get yourself protected, protect yourself, protect your family. The emergency alert's not going to be broadcast through the TV, radio, or cell phones this year. Just practice your tornado and safety plans. We know with people wanting to be socially distanced, they may not do a full-blown tornado drill at their place of business. Right. But we want people to be aware that it's still going to be necessary for you to be aware and be ready for this, because we get a little complacent when we have a run of good luck and we don't have these. But as we saw in the South in recent weeks, these can be pretty significant. So please practice tornado safety.
Right, and just as a reminder too, that Winnebago County will not be sounding the tornado sirens on the 15th as they had in the past. So that's a little bit different this year. That there will not be the tornado sirens going off on the Awareness Day. And just a reminder too that weather radios are always a good idea for weather updates as well. So then another very nice thing for the city of Oshkosh is that the AARP recently named Oshkosh as an age-friendly community.
Yeah, it was, now we're one of 7 communities in Wisconsin with that designation, so we're really proud of that. And a lot of it has to do with quality of life, but this network of communities, including the nationwide effort, is actually an affiliate of the World Health Organization Age-Friendly Cities and Communities program. So they look at things such as safe, walkable streets, access to key services, and opportunities for residents to participate in civic and community activities. And we all know this, and now the world knows that this is a great community for senior citizens.
Absolutely. And there is a survey that is available that they would like you to fill out with some input about what's important in a age-friendly community. And hop on over to the Oshkosh Senior Center Facebook page to take a look for that survey. And I know that they would appreciate the input.
Absolutely. And keep our status there as an age-friendly community, and the Oshkosh Senior Center and our Committee on Aging, they both do an outstanding job of making sure that the services we provide to the senior community is relevant, and that's so important as well.
Okay. And another thing that makes Oshkosh great are its neighborhoods. And there's some home improvement funds that are available through the city.
Yeah, we have loans and incentives that are really designed to encourage home improvements, home ownership,
Right.
as well as investing in our housing stock. And we have a program that we want people to be aware of that's upcoming.
Yeah, and that's coming up on April 22nd at 10 a.m. It's a virtual meeting, so folks are welcome to join in on that and hear some information about the programs that are available. And for more information about that, folks can contact Ann Schaefer, and Ann's phone number is 232-5306.
And even though that's not the most convenient time if you're a working person, we'll be replaying that later, so we'll get you more details on that if you're interested in that program.
That's right. Okay, Mark, I think that's about what we have for the first half of our program today. And so please stay with us, and we'll be right back with some agenda highlights from the upcoming Tuesday, April 13th Common Council meeting. You're watching the City Manager's Report.
May the force be with you when you visit the Nostalgia Awakens, now open at the Oshkosh Public Museum. Take in the largest display of original Kenner Star Wars toys ever assembled in the state of Wisconsin. Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. These pieces of memorabilia are as iconic as the movies themselves. You must make a reservation to see this one-of-a-kind exhibit. Go to www.oshkoshmuseum.org or call 236-5799 to make your reservation and prepay now to enjoy easy check-in when you arrive. The Nostalgia Awakens at the Oshkosh Public Museum, on display now through June 20th.
And welcome back to the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, along with City Manager Mark Roloff. Let's take a look at some agenda highlights from the upcoming April 13th Common Council meeting. And Mark, it looks like there's an item here, Community Development Block Grant Action Plan. I believe that the city received about $800,000 this year?
Yeah, that's our annual allotment from the federal government, and we use it for a variety of programs, primarily to benefit low and moderate income individuals. So this is a hearing that's required under federal law that we seek input from the public before council acts on submitting this plan to the federal government for approval. And then we also have with that, there's a second public hearing.
Yeah.
We did receive what's called CARES Act money associated with COVID relief. And we're amending our 2020 action plan because we received a round of funding from the federal government, as well as from the state that came from the federal government. And it's primarily what's called public services. And what that means is local nonprofit entities. Normally, with our regular annual allotment, we're limited on how much we can give to public services. That cap has been lifted for purposes of all this additional funds. So we're doing a lot of allocations to local nonprofits who were significantly impacted by the COVID pandemic and fundraising, and yet their services, what they needed to continue to provide, never went away. So we're trying to help them get through that hump.
Okay, all right, very good. So those are the public hearings that will begin the meeting. And then we have an item under the consent agenda looking at a development plan for 1745 Oregon Street, and that's Smith School.
That is Smith School. The school district sold it to a local development group that is going to convert it into apartment buildings. They will be getting some historic tax credit to preserve some of this, and be adding on a little bit to that as well for parking, garages and things like that. But it's going to be a great reuse of that old school, and I think it'll help lift up the neighborhood because it'll add new housing there and add some vibrancy to the neighborhood.
Okay, very good. And then we're taking a look at an item that encourages the continued shared revenue, and shared revenue is a very large portion of the city's budget.
It is, in fact, within our city's general fund, shared revenue is the second largest revenue after property taxes. And the term shared revenue is intended to say all the income tax and sales tax that the state collects gets shared with local municipalities. That was actually the original intent of the income tax.
Okay.
Well, as this graph shows, the state hasn't been holding up their end of the bargain. And you can just see, we've tracked this for the last 20 years, and in about 2003, we had the first big drop in that program, and then another big drop in 2011. So we're getting about $2.5 million less than we used to under this program. Meanwhile, state revenues have been increasing. Now, certainly they've taken downturns, such as what happened in 2010 with the recession, but they've never recovered the funding of that. So they're not doing a very good job at the state of sharing with their local units of government. We're the ones that provide the most basic services, and I would argue to my last breath, Andy, that when they don't share the revenue at the state level with local units of government, the only alternative we have is property taxes.
Right.
State shared revenue cuts increase property taxes. I will set my words on that, and I think it's something that the public needs to be aware of and let their state representative know that we need to get a greater share of their tax dollars coming back to the local level.
Okay. Well, and then there's an opportunity here for some visibility to this issue. So
yeah, I guess I better get off my stump.
So we're all good. We're all good. Okay, and we have another exciting agenda item, looking at adding some pickleball courts over at South Park.
Well, these are the 3 tennis courts that already exist at South Park, but the increase in interest in pickleball has gone way up in recent years. We did this with Menomonee Park last year. We have 3 tennis courts here at South Park. We're going to resurface all of them, but we're going to convert one of the tennis courts into 4 pickleball courts. Pickleball is a much smaller court, so you can get 4 of those courts on one tennis court. So we'll be able to appeal to both tennis players, and then the pickleball players don't have to share tennis courts. It's just not the same. So the pickleball courts are going to be a huge asset to add to South Park. You're going to see a lot of people out there on South Park when this project's done, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's good to see that coming around. And then we're getting into event season, and we have a lot of approvals of special events. Among them, the upcoming Memorial Day procession is slated to happen again this year.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing here is with Memorial Day, that's such a solemn event that we want to honor our veterans who have sacrificed their lives for our country. And this is a more solemn event, but people still want to be out for it. And last year, that was one of the first big public events that was canceled as a result of COVID. I know the Patriotic Council is doing everything they can to encourage safe, socially distant event, and by then, we're hoping things will be a little better with vaccines. But they want to be able to honor, our nation's fallen, and honor them appropriately. So hopefully, we'll be able to do that very respectfully.
Sure, right. And then we have a lot of different things coming up, and another one of them, in a more celebratory manner, is the Oshkosh 4th of July Parade.
Exactly, and the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 437, they sponsor the event. It's a wonderful family-oriented event. Same things apply in terms of, we want it to be socially distant, but we want people to be able to celebrate our nation's birthday and our independence. So, we're going to work with them very closely to be as successful as we can.
Okay, very good. And then we're taking a look at a portion of land around West 20th Avenue. There's always rumors, Mark, about a KFC going in. I don't know can you answer that or not?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny, but I think we'll let the pictures, say say what they need to say. This is at the corner of South Park and 20th Avenue, the old Packers Pub, and you can see the parking lot in that. And actually, we've been told that the applicant is also looking to acquire the former LeSure's restaurant. That's actually closed. So they're looking at a combination office development and then some retail. But the only retail that I can confirm is
O'Reilly.
An O'Reilly Auto Parts, yeah. And I think there was a rendering, there it is, that they showed to the Plan Commission. So I cannot tell you that a KFC is there, but I've seen that rumor, and I would love to believe it along with everybody else who loves their fried chicken in Oshkosh. But right now, I cannot say that that is a site for that. But certainly will be a great redevelopment of that area. So we're excited about pushing that forward and assisting the developers in getting that reviewed and make it a nice addition to that area.
Right. There's a lot of development going on all around town. It's good to see what's happening. And then we have another road improvement, taking a look at Jackson Street for some changes upcoming at Jackson Street.
This was about the Jackson Street Neighborhood Association that really wanted to see something done to put a road diet in it, as it's called, to hopefully slow down the traffic. And road diets proved to have done that. I think we've got some video of what we did on Murdoch Avenue, kind of similar to this, where you have one lane in each direction and then a two-way turning lane. And that's what's being proposed for Jackson Street. And this is using some of our great neighborhoods money. So we asked the historic Jackson Street corridor what they would like to do with some of these neighborhood funds, and they said, we really want to see this done. And it's an expensive proposition to add the different signages and painting and things like that. And so council's going to be looking at about $90,000 to direct for that, called a multimodal traffic safety plan implementation. So you're going to see something similar to this, and we're happy to have worked with the neighborhood association on getting that done.
Okay, very good. And then also there's an item to designate the month of May as No Mow May. Can you explain a little bit about what that means?
Well, I'll try to do my best, but this was an initiative of our Sustainability Advisory Board, so I want to make sure they get the credit for this.
Okay.
No Mow May is an idea that bees and other insects can better pollinate if we don't mow as much, because then they can cross-pollinate with different things. And I'm not the right technical guy, I'm not a botanist, but the idea is if we mow less, it creates more opportunities for pollination. So we're going to relax the rules on grass enforcement, not other property enforcement, but certainly grass enforcement. So the Sustainability Board is saying, look, just let May grow, and then we'll see if that has some benefit for the environment, for pollination. So we're certainly happy to work with the Sustainability Board to recommend this to council.
Okay, well, we'll be looking for some more information about that. And then finally, we have an item kind of back to the 4th of July again. It looks like we'll be having a fireworks show at Menomonee Park. Yeah,
last year we had to cancel the fireworks show, which I think broke a lot of people's hearts. But we're remaining hopeful that things are going to improve. And I think the president said, you want people to get together by the 4th of July? Well, so do we.
Right.
And our plan is to have the Festival Foods fireworks show return to Oshkosh for 2021. It'll be in Menomonee Park like it has been in so many years. So we're excited. We're going to be encouraging people to keep their distance.
Right.
And I think we can do it. A lot of the rides and everything with Sawdust Days won't be there. So that'll be more ability for people to spread out and get their beach chairs out and enjoy our nation's holiday. Hopefully the weather's good and we'll have a great fireworks show that everybody can enjoy.
Well, it's a great venue for fireworks show. You can stretch out that whole area, Menomonee Park. It's a wonderful location.
Yeah, and it'll be fun to be able to get out and see neighbors and enjoy ourselves. So looking forward to it, and happy to be working with Festival Foods to sponsor this fireworks show.
Very good. Okay. Well, Mark, I think that's about all that we have for today's program. Thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure, Andy. Thank you.
Okay, very good. And again, the Oshkosh Common Council meeting is coming up this Tuesday, April 13th at 6 p.m. You can watch it live on GovTV, which is Spectrum Channel 10, UVerse Channel 99, and streaming on YouTube and OshkoshMedia.org. Or if you prefer, you can listen to it on the radio, which is Oshkosh FM 101.9. which is also online and on the TuneIn Radio app for phones and tablets. You can use your favorite streaming device to watch in high definition, including Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. You can always visit our YouTube channel for government meeting archives and the full library of Oshkosh media programming. So we thank you again for joining us today, and please join us again in 2 weeks for another City Manager's Report. Stay safe and stay well.